Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Go! 90 Wolf!
You ain't got nothing! You ain't got nothing!
Sleep it!
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On the return, it's White. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now the pass to Grant, and he's got it. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsay. 14 carries, 54 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Ryan Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. There's certainly nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On the ground, it's Geis. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check. Let's go. Check 13.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking here for Schmidt downfield. Oh, wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Vincent Smith, 84 yards. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
60 out more.
You can't block me. You can go.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. That'll be caught by Cup. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Rush in, rush in, go, rush in. Check 31, check 31, check 30.
Now a give, right side, it's Geis. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game, what were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I don't want to go for it as much as anyone.
The 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Right there, look, 55.
Get it.
On 1st down, Locke. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Locke. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant, his first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point from McManus is good. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Got some room at the 30, and finally brought down at the 34-yard line. A Redskin first down, the pickup 15 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. To throw again on second down. Murray airing it out deep for Smith. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Into the end zone, touchdown, Redskins. Bryce Love, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra point good by Hopkins, and the lead is now 21-14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Lindsey. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Clock now on first down. Brought in over the middle by Grant. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Clock now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Noah Fant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll run with Geis. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have now moved out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We're getting closer here now to halftime, and we may need that halftime break just because there hasn't been much of a break in this first half. A lot of points being put up.
Not much room to breathe, is there? Because these guys are going up and down the field. And let's face it, if you're the offensive coordinator for either squad, pretty happy with what you're saying. If you're the defensive coordinator,
you're not so happy.
You're frantically searching for something that'll work. You're on the headset talking to your assistant. You're checking your play sheet. You're going through your memory banks of all the tape you've watched. You've got to come up with something, anything that'll help slow them down.
Searching for answers. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They look to throw. It's locked. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Locke's trying to hurry him up with that clock running. Another try after the first down sack. Locke, and he's going to go down again. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun on third down, Locke. He'll find Lindsey here.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A final shot before half for Murray. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Redskins in a good spot. They got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them. But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Guys showing he's going to be an important part of this Redskin backfield as he's in there again for first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And it's complete. Hooper. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Block and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Block now on 1st down. This is the tight end Fant. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. On 2nd down, it's Lindsey, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Block. Going up top. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Freeman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go play action here on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Check, 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 check.
On first down, here's Love. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46.
Let's go, baby.
That good for 19 and a first down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A big play there out of Geis. 42 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd and 7, Murray off to Geis on the screen. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. From 10 yards out. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They give him a gain of 38. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Locke looks to throw it again. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll go for it. It's Locke. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. To throw is Murray. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion in Alabama, gets in for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players than football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. It's complete to Grant. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw it is Locke. That'll be caught by Cup. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Into the red zone, it's Locke. That is caught inside the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt on 2nd down now. It's Lindsey. And boy, this Redskin defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again. Here's Locke. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant there to make the grab. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
Play is under review.
Touchdown.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll run again with Love on 1st down. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll run with Love. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. On 3rd down, here's Love. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. It's a gain of 6, and that ought to just about do it. It's Love. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.